Hello everybody and welcome to the stream. I'll just give it a little bit for people to get here. I just pinged Discord, so hopefully some people should be showing up. But it is just me today. Evan is at work, or well, will be in a couple minutes. So it's just going to be me here. And I'm not building Sonic, actually. That was originally what was going to happen today. Last week I was working on building the Sonic set. But today, I really got to finish like the last of my weekly tasks here, which is adding a bunch of BSXs that a cataloger did. I have like 20 pounds of large bricks, or sorry, large plates here that I got to get through. Don't know if I'm going to be doing all of them on stream today. Probably not, because it's definitely a lot less efficient. But yeah, it's going to be a late night. So yeah, let's see. Who is here so far? Brady, welcome. Great to have you. Funbrick Creations, I'm doing well. How about you? David, welcome. Yes, it is just me today. How are things going in retail? Is Saturday a very busy day for you? I would assume so. But yeah, basically, so just what I'm doing is I'm verifying what the cataloger has done for today, and then putting it in drawers. I'm not actually going to be putting it on the wall. I'm going to do that after the stream. I have another table set up over here. You guys can't see. So I'm going to fill up the table. And if I fill up the whole table, then maybe I will have to go in the back and put some stuff away. But we are also almost out of drawers. The whole wall is almost full. So we'll see. I should definitely have enough, though, especially because a lot of them are going to be big drawers. But we'll have to see. David West says Saturdays do be the busiest. I can imagine. Funbrick Creation says they're doing good. Glad to hear that. All right, so. All right, so there is going to be a lot of counting today. Today is primarily a productive stream. I really got to get this stuff done. So just do be aware of that. And I think I put this bag away when I was cleaning up. So you know what? That will just have to be okay. Dark brown. Oh. And our first spill of the day, not even building today, and we already got a spill. David says, I added 6,500 parts I got back from a cataloger today, and now diving into the 60 pounds of sorted Technic I cataloged myself. David, do you verify like what I'm doing, where I go through and quality check each individual piece and recount and everything? Or do you just assume that they are correct and stick it on the wall unless it's like obviously wrong? Because that's a pretty good amount of stuff, especially when you are also running a store. So I would like to learn the secret of your productivity. And Brick Rehab is kind of correct. I will be interacting with chat, don't worry, but my primary goal here is to try and get as much of this done as possible. So. This is reddish brown. Yeah, we were really trying to work with our catalogers on getting our colors more accurate. We still get a lot of like reddish brown listed as brown and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a learning experience, you know. So let's see. David says, I get stuff back bagged in bins. Front of bin is index number 1. I pour the bag onto a yellow tray. Quick quantity verification, then pour into a drawer and key in the remark code. Thank you very much.
It's my mug.
Have fun at work. So, let's see. I get stuff back. Quick quantity verification, then pour it into a drawer and key in the remark code. Okay, not a deep quality check though, because at that point I could build the file myself as fast as I'm verifying it. Yeah, we would like to eventually get to that point. But I don't know, I still catch a lot of quality stuff, especially in like a category like this. I come across so much chewed stuff. I don't know. I don't want to say anything bad, but because the cataloger might be watching, and they have improved so much. It's wonderful. And I mean, I think kind of another thing is like Evan and I have been doing this for 2 years plus at this point. So like we, you know, our standards are probably a little bit over exaggerated in terms of like what we should get back versus like what someone who's only been doing this for a couple months can actually, you know, do. So, so David says, I have one guy who catalogs directly in the drawers. I don't even check. He was the one who co-founded DNA Bricks. Okay, yeah, I mean, I would trust that though. Like, you know, they know. So, yeah. I mean, another like issue, like light bluish gray, light gray. This, you know, it's usually just in here as one lot, and so I got to separate it out. But you know, the more that we do this, and the more mistakes that people make, the like more we can refine our practice, so that later on, when we have a lot of catalogers, we can figure out a very effective way to teach, right? So you know, it's good data to get, I guess. But yeah, I wish I could kind of do what you do, David. But the issue is like, I don't know, I just be really worried about selling a part that has a poor quality. Ouch, David. So David says, well, the batch I got back today, the guy got the quantity of light bluish gray and light gray correct, but poured them back into the same bag together. I have seen that. So yeah, no, that definitely sucks. Did I count this? I really hope. Okay, I have the quantity highlighted, so I think yes, and I already changed the color, so yes, I fixed this. Fun Recreation says, this week one of my goals is to either part a few new sets out or part out my advent calendar parts that I haven't done yet, plus finish building the mini Disney castle and edit a few videos that will come out this week on my channel. That's a pretty good to-do list. Evan and I have gotten into, you should see on the vlog that'll be coming out Monday or something like that. Monday? Do they come out Monday? Yes, I think, yes. I don't edit the vlogs. But Evan and I, we've been doing Saturday meetings now for like 2 weeks, where we sit down and come up with like a itemized to-do list of like everything that needs to get done. And that has helped productivity so much. Nancy, Mom, sure, if you want to, what you can actually do, if you want to come in here real quick, it would be super helpful. I have a ton of bags down here that I haven't started on yet. If you wanted to take them back to the studio and just pull out stuff that is bad quality, that would be like terrific. Thank you so much. So yeah, just come in here. For context, my parents rent like there's like an attached studio to the house, and they live there. But she also does some awesome cataloging. Lego Bricks says, hey man, which sets are you doing? I am not doing a set at all right now. I am confirming I am confirming BSXs that came back. So let's see. Bag 4. 6 and 5. 7. Thank you very much.
Just take out the bad pieces?
Yeah, just like keep them like one bag at a time, please.
Okay.
So everything that's in bag 7 should return to bag 7.
Okay.
Just if
take
it
out bad
has like
pieces.
chewed marks or is discolored or has dirt that you can't just wipe off. Thank you. See, parents, awesome. Free labor. What did I say? Oh, okay. JB, welcome, howdy. Funbrick says they're my main tasks for this week, on top of the usual weekly commitments. Lego Bricks BE says, nice, how many parts? For all of the BSXs, I'm not actually sure. But earlier today, I did one that had 680. The one I'm doing now should have 603 when it's done. But each BSX only has like 20 lots. So I have 12 BSXs, but I don't know if I'm going to get through all of them on stream. Depends on how productive I'm being. And right now I'm not being very productive at all, but hopefully the coffee will help. So, oh, BSX. Very, very mature, David. I can see we made an excellent choice in making you the moderator. Our Shark Productions, welcome to the stream. Awesome to have you here. I hope your order arrives a lot sooner this time than it has in the past. So, yes. He had in the past, yeah, you were the camera order, right? That took forever to ship. Just for future reference, we're not saying don't place camera orders anymore, but if you do, understand that it might take like literally 3 or 4 months before your order gets shipped. So please be aware of that. We don't really do it anymore, so yeah. Let's see. David says, pack orders, upload as many parts as possible. Oh, we just got banned from our own Discord. Okay, yeah. He says it's been shipped. Awesome. That is fantastic. What coffee do I drink? This is nothing to really talk about. It's Folger's instant coffee, literally just like the coffee crystals. So, yeah, it was cheap and it's fast. I don't drink a lot of coffee. So, yeah, more just when I need it. JB says it'll definitely be faster than my order from 2020. Do you have an outstanding order with us from 2020? Or was this something that happened a while ago? Because I do not remember. Wait a sec. Oh, that's right. Thought I saw a fake there for a second, but it was Lego. The logo was just like in a spot different from all of the other ones. There's like a couple really accurate fakes that we've seen recently. Like the Kobe ones are like, is it Kobe? There's another one too that's like really close, and yeah, sometimes those get through, and it's very problematic because then there's a small chance that they might end up with a customer. Like the other day, someone got, as ashamed as I am to admit it, someone in our Discord actually told us that they got a non-Lego from us, which is very, very bad. We have like a zero tolerance policy for that. So whenever we find like fake Lego, it's a really big deal, because like if you get a damaged piece, that's still a big deal, but like fake Lego is misrepresenting the product, and so I don't know, it's just very bad. JB says, not you. I had ordered from a BL store before Christmas in 2020, and it got lost in the mail. Showed up Tuesday, 390 days after it shipped. That is crazy. 390 days. I don't know how it actually... Huh. Brick Rehab, I picked up a 50-pound bulk, had 80% off of a BB-8 right on top. Oh, 80% of a BB-8 right on top. That is... Hopefully it has like the data card and stuff too. Hello Ben, welcome. Lego Bricks BE asks, what is my favorite set and do I own it? Let's see. Like my favorite set in terms of like nostalgic value is the Sandcrawler. I think I've talked about this before, and yes, I do own it. And it's my favorite set because I used to play with that thing all the time. If you want to say like favorite set of all time, like what would that be? Honestly, I'm not sure. There's so many sets out there. I have Hogwarts now. For a while, that was like one of my favorites. I don't know. A lot of like the new stuff is really good. So honestly, I'm not sure. I kind of want the newer Sandcrawler. I have the old one, but let's see. I'm really bad with years, so let's see. There's like I think 3 versions of the Sandcrawler. Okay, yes, the one that I want is 75059. That's the 2014 UCS. But there is also the one that I have is, 10144-1, which was released in 2005. So yeah, I really want the UCS one, but I have other things I'd rather spend my money on right now. So, and I want a new graphics card, and like so much money. So I am saving up for that. Oh, that's a nicely colored piece right there. Don't know if you guys can see, but yeah. Wow, I need to cut my fingernails. But let's see. Brick Rehab wants a Sandcrawler. Yeah, the Sandcrawlers are super cool. JB says, I hate Kobe. Their colors are the easiest way to tell they're fake. Yeah, I agree. Especially with like the whites and stuff. It's the like what was I about to say? It's the other stuff. Like the blacks, if I remember, the Kobe blacks can be like pretty good and stuff. Brick Rehab says, I did that this week, sent out a high value minifig that I swear was Lego. Buyer sending it back. I want another look. Yeah, I mean, I remember when I was really little, I found a Shock T, and that was a fig I wanted for like ever, and it was fake, but I was absolutely convinced that it was real, and I would not take no for an answer. But yeah, some of the fakes can be, moderately accurate, especially for the minifigs, because there's like a lot more money in it for the fake producer to make like a really accurate fake minifig. Happy Brick Life asks, how do you clean used parts with stickers? Our cleaning process is after the sort. So first level sorters get just like the parts basically right from the supplier. And then after it gets separated into categories, so ideally all of the stickered parts should have been pulled out, then it gets cleaned. And this is also like to prevent electronics from getting damaged and like other stuff like that. Brick Rehab says, yes, it did. Haven't had the BB-8 minifig yet. Hopefully you find it. Evan has BB-8. It's a pretty cool set. Lego Brick says, will you guys buy more architecture sets for the wall? Probably yes. That's more Evan's thing than mine. So likely. Don't know how much more room there is, but yeah, hopefully. Three, four. That is very clearly fake. They should have recognized that. $100. All right, so let's see. I missed a lot of chat there. You guys buy more architecture sets for on the wall. I already answered that. I had a seller send me 2 1x1 plates that were connects. They refunded them, but I don't think they believed me. Yeah, especially when you become a large seller, I imagine that there's probably some people out there that do lie. We've never had we've had one person try to commit fraud, but that's a different story, and I've told it before. But I don't think we've had anyone who was actually lying. We've had some people that were upset over incredibly minimal damage. on used pieces, but let's see, in terms of actually like lying, we've had one guy who was pretty mistaken, but they apologized. I think they're now like one of our best. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was him. Yeah, I think they're now one of like our most loyal buyers, which is kind of funny considering that for some reason, somehow, they get an inordinate amount of errors. I feel so bad. But yeah, anyway, I imagine that if you become a bigger store, some people will try to scam you out of calling pizzas fake, assuming that you just have too much to do and it's easier for you to refund them than investigate. So, I don't know, probably depends on what store it is. Fun Recreation says, plus I also have the newest architecture set Singapore to build as well. Yeah, Evan, if you're watching, you need to get on buying those. JB says, I was like, why would I lie about 2 30-cent pieces? Yeah, that's kind of strange. Especially when it's like that low. R-Shark Productions, I bought Commander Cody, new. Awesome. Was that from our store? I may have packed your order. I don't actually remember because we basically just use IDs. So the only time we actually notice a name is when we are printing the shipping label. So I usually don't exactly know the name. I don't, when I think of an order, I don't think of the name. So I'm not sure. I don't remember packing a Cody though. Maybe I did. Nissa says, I found Star Wars 312 in a bulk buy. What's a recent price for it? Nancy says, do you want me to clean off the dirty parts? Yeah, sure, but only if you can dry them quickly. And our Shark Productions says, just found the fake. Yeah, I did. I don't know. Evan and I are trying to kind of figure out what we expect back from a cataloger, right? Because they don't make a ton of money. They make decent. Evan and I think decent for the amount of work, although that is based off of our ability to get something done rather than their ability to get something done. So I'm not sure. It's an ongoing discussion as to what exactly we should pay our catalogers, but as to that fake should have been recognized. Let's see, I have one for $68, Star Wars 0312 in mint. Well, if it's bulk, then it still needs to be listed as used, unless it was bulk new, still in bag, right? At least according to BrickLink terms, I believe that's how it works. So you can write in the thing saying that it's mint or near mint. But let's see here. Star Wars 0312 TAC Droid used. The average price right now is $57. Wait for it. 312. Yeah, 312. The average price right now is $57 for the quantity average is also 57. If you are doing it by current, then 68, which I believe is, yeah, David prices, you price off of current. So yeah, somewhere between there, depending on the size of your store, as to how much you could mark it up. Bradshaw, hello, welcome. That's a new emoji. I have not seen that on YouTube yet. Interesting. Vidya, could you please enable shipping to Colorado? I am pretty sure we have shipping enabled everywhere. Except, well, Colorado's in the United States, so that should be enabled. Let's see here. I have heard of a bug before where it says something on your end, the end of the buyer, it says your area does not allow or whatever, and yet yeah, we ship everywhere. So I'm not exactly sure what's up with that. Does it just give like the normal "we don't ship to your location" thing, or is it like a special error message? Because I'd be a little bit confused as to why that's happening. Because we ship to all 218 countries that BrickLink does, so yeah. Our Shark Production says, no, it's from someone else. I got it from like Minifigures Dreams. Ah, okay. Nisa says, I have 12,000 lots and 230,000 parts. Then yeah, you could probably list it for probably like 5% above the 6-month sales. Between 5 and, well, actually it's a minifig. You could probably list that for 15 to 20% above the 6-month sales average. And get away with it. It might take a little bit to sell, but you could probably do that, especially considering it's Star Wars. So, yeah, I would list it for 15-20% above $57. So, there's my advice for that. Let's see. Seems as though there was no true dark gray in here. So, but there is also none in the BSX. Interesting. Usually there's at least like a couple dark gray. So, did anybody, someone already mentioned that they got the new Singapore. Did anyone else buy any of the new sets that came out very recently? I got Sonic, but nothing else. Lovely. But, yeah. Anyone else buy anything interesting? Let's see. Funbrick Creation says, I've now started every few weeks to import my whole inventory to Brickstore and update the prices to the 6-month sales average. Yeah, we do that periodically as well. Vidya says, I think it's a problem with BrickLink. I just checked stores I've ordered from in the past, and it also says this seller is not enabled shipping to your location. Interesting. If you know how, try clearing your cookies. You never know. I can't really think of a reason why that would work, because it should actually be saved with like your account, but that is possible. Yeah, clearing your cache or cookies may help. It depends on like how it like caches your location, because I'd assume it would just pull the address from your account information, but maybe there's like something funky going on. But I have heard of other people having this issue before, and we have had people unable to buy from our store before in areas where it's like supposed to be, they're supposed to be able to buy from our store. So, yeah, not too sure. Look at that color. That's here is light bluish gray. Here is that. Oh, it doesn't really, the color on this monitor is not too great. It's like almost tan. Wow. But yeah, let's see, I was just reading. Oh, yes, Argumentium says, we saw you got Sonic, you look super pleased with it, like a kid in a sweet shop. Yes, younger me would have been drastically more pleased, but at least it came out at some point. light gray, and there are 10, and I'm going to need a new bag for that. The light tannish gray. Yes, new, very rare Lego color. We can sell it for like, I don't know, $300 for that, that 2 by 3. R Shark Production says, I'm trying to start a BrickLink store, but my parents say no, it's too much work. I mean, it's definitely not a small, if you want to make money off of it, it's definitely not a small amount. It will take years to make a full-time income off of it. But then again, if you live with your parents, it might be a lot cheaper in terms of like the amount of money you need to spend, right? Depending on how your relationship with your parents is. But yeah, it definitely can be. Oh, he says, just want to sell Legos that I don't need, use. BrickLink probably isn't the best for that. BrickLink really only I mean, I don't want to say really only because that makes it sound rather elitist, but BrickLink is more functional if you're running it as a business. And that's usually the recommendation that Nevin and I make. If you just want to sell off your stuff, you're going to have a better time pulling out the figs and high value pieces and listing them on eBay than you are trying to run a small store on BrickLink. It's just too leveraged against the large stores in terms of who's going to get the orders and who's not, for it to really make sense. You're going to have to sell, if you want to sell quickly, you're going to have to sell below the 6-month sales average. And if you want to sell above the 6-month sales average, you're going to have to wait a long time for someone to come to your store. So, you know, that's my recommendation. You can really only get daily orders. Let's see, 60,000 pieces. Yeah, I think it's 60,000 is what Evan and I have kind of like figured out. But yeah, I recommend just selling on eBay. David says it will take 12 months to go full time if you eat all your classes and buy bulk. Yeah, looking back on it, if Evan and I had more dedication, we could be where we are a long time ago and past it. It's just we also have other commitments and stuff. And there have been that we lost like a good 3 or 4 months during this period where we basically didn't add anything, and the store kind of just like fell apart. So if we were as dedicated as we are during the times where we are the most dedicated throughout the whole thing, if that word salad made any sense, we would be way farther than we are now. So that's definitely something to think about as well. If you're actually not lying to yourself and able to be fully dedicated, which very few people can, and you have the capability to quit your day job or not go to school and just focus on this, then yeah, you could probably do full-time pretty quickly. But David, you also have the retail location, which I imagine required, you know, some capital to start up, and also foot traffic and stuff. And so that probably is probably a pretty significant boost in your sales and stuff. So Funbrick Creation says wait. Before that, Rick Rehab says, are tires worth continuing to catalog, or am I wasting my efforts? Depends on how many lots you have. Tires, they definitely don't sell super well. But the fact that you have more lots will help you get more sales, because there is the off chance that somebody will need a tire and your store will have the correct combination of parts, right? You know, the advantage to having a lot of lots is basically it increases the amount of combinations that a shopping cart could fill, right? So somebody's going to want to shop at one store. So if you have a wide variety of pieces, they're going to be more likely to build a shopping cart that is going to have your store stuff in it and get picked by the wanted list, right? So if you're small, basic answer is if you're small, go ahead and catalog tires. We catalog tires. They do take up a ton of room though. So do keep that in mind. Also, if you really wanted to, you could probably bulk them on eBay. Just do keep in mind, we've considered selling on eBay before, bulk on eBay. eBay takes a lot of money out of your check, and so you got to really price stuff high in order to get good margins. But if you're also doing very little work, you know, maybe look into it. I've never looked into selling tires on eBay, but it could be an option if you don't want to catalog. Fun by Creation says, I enjoy just having my small store as a hobby. If I had more space, I'd try to turn it into a business. Yeah, that's what a lot of people do. And I mean, it sounds kind of mean, but Evan and I are in this to make money. We like Lego and stuff, but the core fundamental reason is we want to make money. And so, you know, we run it as a business, less of a hobby. And usually when people approach us with questions, we try to answer from the mindset of, how can I make money on this? And a hobbyist mindset, to be blunt, usually won't cut it in terms of making money. But also, if you're being a hobbyist, your goal isn't really to make money, it's to have fun. And if the way you're running it is what, you know, has fun, the reason to obtain money is to have fun. And so if you don't need to obtain the money to have fun, you know, then you don't really need to run your store any other way, right? You can just run it as a hobby because you don't need the money to spend on other stuff to have fun. So there you go. Goodbye, R Shark Productions. It was great having you here. David West says, money is a construct, but I do be attracting trade-ins. Yeah. Nisa says, tires sell well for me on eBay. Good to know. So there you've got some input. Let me count these, and then I will go back and answer chat. It's just, there's a lot of people talking today. All right, let's see. Our Shark Production says, do you only sell on BrickLink for life, or do you work like a job? We work jobs. I do Uber, and Evan does a ton of stuff. Evan is a very busy person. He does like film work, live event. He owns a second company. They do live event production. And then he also works for a couple other companies and does like sports events and stuff like that. So yeah, and then I'm also in school, and Evan is also in school. So we both do a lot. But he does way, way, way more than I do. I don't understand how he's able to function as a human being. But I don't mean that as a negative thing, because he's been doing that forever and shows no signs of falling apart. So more power to him if he is able to work that much. But yeah, we both do other stuff as well. Funberg Creation says, my aim firstly is to make my YouTube channel into a career. That is a lot more realistic now than it was several years ago. But you probably want to branch out from Lego. Just Lego content would be my advice. Unless you have a very good idea. Just because the niche is rather small. At least the non-kid niche is rather small. And with YouTube policy the way it is, it's more difficult to make YouTube money as a kids' toy channel, right? So we are classed as a business channel, I believe. And so our like ad rate, click rate is pretty good because that's like what YouTube YouTube like considers us to be. So I would definitely, my personal advice, if you wanted to succeed on YouTube, would be to slant more into like the business side of stuff. And you can make a lot of money running a successful business channel. Brick Rehab says, I'm up to 6,230 consolidated lots. That is very nice. Congratulations on that. Nissa says, on eBay, I sell tires as 16 tires, 16 inners, 8 axles, equals 4 sets, and it always sells. Interesting. Ola Paul, Ola Fidel. No, David. Let's see. So, yeah, that's generally, if you want to be making, I guess it also depends on where you live. Because, for example, the cost to live here is very high in comparison to the cost to live in, let's say, like Missouri, right? And so you could run a BrickLink store in Missouri that makes the same amount of money as one here and be far, far better off than Evan and I will running the same BrickLink store. So, yeah, that is also something else to keep in mind. Funbrick Creation says, I always put the not for kids option, so it's hopefully going to more adults than kids. I'm trying to make it more of a business type thing. Is a good idea. Yeah, that's my recommendation. Okay, these are just not in the BSX. I still got to do white. White is the worst color, in my opinion. There are... Sometimes I honestly wonder whether it's even worth doing white, but the thing is, like, it sells a lot, but the just, like, toss percentage of white pieces that just go in the trash is, like, so incredibly high. Like, look at this. This is not that atypical for a white piece. So Although, it looks like I'm about to eat my own words, because this here may actually not be that bad of a batch. David says, buy my masterclass, learn how I made $100,000 on the internet for only 10 payments of $10,000. Yeah, there we go. That's the real secret to making money. $20 out of 100 were unfit. So white is definitely like, ouch. El Draco says, I myself am hoping to open a BrickLink shop by the end of the year to help supplement my wife's income. Would fishing tackle trays be an option at the beginning for storage due to a limited startup space and limited funds for startup? Yes, lots of people do use fishing tackle boxes, but you're also going to want something a bit bigger for things you're going to have higher quantity of, like bricks and stuff. So you're going to want at least a couple bins as well, would be my recommendation. Dunder Mifflin says, how's it going? Forgot there was a stream today. Welcome. Glad you were able to make it. Legos owner says, hey, I'm not working today. Get to watch some Legos. Awesome. I am working. Thunder Mifflin says, I realized the other day that I'm only 400 lots away from being bigger than Ralph. I've been uploading like a madman ever since. Good luck, and I hope you get there before the customers come and buy everything. Vidya says, have you thought about moving to a lower cost of living area when you move out of the garage? You might be able to afford to become full-time seller with lower revenue. Yeah, I have. It's a conversation. It's probably not going to happen for a bunch of reasons. Part of it is that Evan works in the film industry and has a second business as well that works in the film industry, and that's kind of here. So it would be very difficult for him to simply pick up and move. So, yeah. But I don't know. Maybe eventually I'll get my way. My idea would be to leave, but we will have to see. But that is still quite a while away. So, all right, these need to be added. Probably be faster to just look up the ID. 03. Thank you.
These are not done.
Okay.
These are done, and there were a couple where the grades were in the wrong, so they're just free floating now.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. But yeah, that's kind of the thoughts on moving to a lower cost area. I eventually plan to not live here. But I also don't necessarily intend to be working in the store as a full-time income, sorry, as a full-time job for the rest of my life. Evan and I's both goal is to kind of eventually have this be a lot more self-sufficient and kind of run on its own. But we are a long, long way from there. But yeah, there's other stuff that we both want to do as well. Let's see. All right, so that is second BSX done. Now I got to upload it. Let's see. Well, not upload it, but first I got to run it through Brickstock Merge. Lego's owner, I'm glad to hear you enjoy watching these streams. They're definitely fun to do as well. So it's always nice. Although they're definitely not very productive, even when they're supposed to be. But that is the price we pay for fame, I guess. Oh, and there's the 3D printer. We are almost out of dividers, so the dividers have been printing throughout this stream here. We're probably going to have most of these lots, I am expecting. Let's see. Oh, no. Huh. Only a few. Tan. Metagure. Yellow. Dark tan. And light gray. Something fell, but I will collect it at the end. This is consolidate. Excellent. Alrighty, now we get to drawer stuff. Nisa says, I enjoy them too, but it's very late for me. It's 11 o'clock p.m. here. Yeah, that is well past my bedtime. Lego's owner says, do you recommend others, including me, to get a 3D printer for making stickers for bricks and for organizing? What do you mean by stickers? Do you mean dividers? Like the things we use to like split up our drawers? If so, it depends on how many you're going to make. You need to make quite a few in order to break even. We have broken even a long time ago, but I mean, we have literally hundreds, if not thousands, of dividers. So It's cheaper if you are going to be printing that many. But if you are only going to be printing a few, no, it's probably not. At least not in the short term. Fidel says, I plan that my store supplement my income. I'm still at school though, mainly using part of my revenue to invest. That is a good plan. Investing is always good. That was a total fail. Nobody saw that. This is what I have. For putting little stickers on the names of buildings and details, like in a Lego city. For stickers, I don't. Do you mean like a? I'm a little confused with what you mean by stickers, like normal stickers, because a 3D printer isn't going to do that. You're going to need. You can print stickers on like a regular printer. We print our all our labels on on stuff. If you mean like custom pieces, you're going to need a really, really high quality 3D printer to be able to print like custom pieces. The resolution on most 3D printers just isn't there. How Lego makes their stuff is through injection molding, and that's going to cost you like $40,000. So I recommend you probably, if you need a custom piece, it would probably be cheaper, and you want it to look like Lego, you're going to need to probably have someone else do it, because the high quality 3D printers that can like kind of roughly get there is going to be very, very, very high in expense. So we have a resin printer, which is on the higher end in terms of like versus the what are they called, polymer printers, where it like goes line by line. Ours basically like uses light to like print onto a surface of resin, which is then like slowly pulled out of the resin as like lasers make each line. And so with that, you get a lot less of the like streaking effect that 3D printers have, and it's like a lot more rubbery. But with the normal 3D printers, the resolution is usually really low, especially for the ones that people can afford. So I think a lot of people expect the 3D printer to look like normal plastic, and it doesn't look like normal plastic, and they're disappointed by that. Because FDM printers, okay. So yeah, the FDM printers, they look pretty bad. So I would not want to use those for Lego stuff. And the resolution just isn't good enough to get a good grip either, at least in the ones that Evan and I have seen. Obviously, if you buy a very high quality one, it might be different, but yeah. Dunder says you could also use a mini laser engraver. They make desktop ones, and you could do some printing on Lego. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I think I've seen that before as well. So that is probably going to require its own drawer. Kind of surprised we do not have any of these in our inventory, to be honest, because these are pretty common colors. But I guess it's been quite a bit since we've done this category, but still. Fugatech says resin parts are much better. Yeah, we have what we have is a resin printer, but we've never tried to make pieces with it. So. Thunder Mifflin says you could also go full Republic bricks and get all the hardware required to make your own figs from start to finish. Yeah, you could, but I mean, he does it as a business, so he's making profit off of that. If you wanted to sell them, I suppose that would be a pretty good idea, but just for making your own, that's a hefty investment to just do for yourself. So close. Maybe. Oh. FDM are pointless unless you're making very large things like model scenery. If you're doing small detailed work, resin is the only way to go. Okay, good to know. I'm not too much of a 3D printer enthusiast, so I'm not too sure about that. JB says, I could see me building to one day get an injection molding machine to make custom parts. It'd be pretty cool. Yeah, but you also got to get the molds. Right, and I think that is also a huge expense, right, is making the molds for these parts. Because they've got to be very durable and carved. And from what I've read, I don't know how true this is, a lot of times they are carved in reverse as well, not always where they make an original carving and then you know, cast a mold around that. So I don't know how valid that is, but I have heard that before. Alrighty, everything has a remark. And let's upload this. Alrighty, there we go. That is completely done now. So we can get started on the next one. BSX 3. Alrighty, let's find bag 3 here. JB says, I mean, it'll probably never happen. I think it'd be more likely to buy a roller coaster first. That would be very cool to own a roller coaster. Fidel says, would you be comfortable with completely outsourcing the full operation of the store? Maybe. Depends. Yeah, I don't know if I want to answer that question, but it would depend on a lot of things. Dunder Mifflin says, I know the molds will be more expensive than the machine to inject. Yeah. JB says, if Lego ever makes the part you make, it becomes virtually worthless. Yeah, I can see that. And I imagine that has happened before. Fidel says, what would you say is the most profitable brick category of used? Brick category. Bricks honestly aren't very profitable at all. Mod bricks, but regular bricks, it's just they're so bulky that you don't actually like get as many as you think you have. So I would say like mod bricks, modified bricks. Lego's owner says, how much space is left in the garage? What are you going to do when you run out of room? We think we can fit 50% of what we have. So an additional 50%, which would take us up to around 9,000 drawers. And that's assuming we continue to consolidate. So we've still got a while. We've been expanding really fast though. But when we finish, we'll probably get a place. But that's still quite a bit off. So not quite sure. We go back and forth on exactly what our plans are in terms of what kind of a place and like how we want to take the business going forward. But we've probably still got a little bit of time left. Alrighty. Also, I forgot to mention, Funbrick Creations says, I forgot to mention earlier, I also have one big pick-a-brick cup to sort out and upload that I got from my local Lego store about 6 weeks ago. We have not done pick-a-brick in forever. Maybe one of these days we will have to swing back and take a look at what's available. GB says, I love Pick-a-Brick, but at the same time, I still don't think, I think I still have at least some of every part I've gotten off the wall. Yeah, I mean, the thing about if it's on Pick-a-Brick, then it's on Pick-a-Brick, right? So, you know, everybody else has the same idea. Argumentium says, I'm sure what you've sold probably paid for the cup three-fourths times over. Yeah, that is also probably true. I mean, a lot of stuff is going to sit with some quantity. You know, one factor is as the quantity decreases, the amount of people buying should also decrease a little because there are going to be some people that want it in a high quality and can't get it in a high quality. So, so that is something to think about. Lego's owner says, feel like it's better to buy bulk on Mercari than Goodwill. Yeah, we've heard that before. Facebook Marketplace seems to be the place to go. Oh no. Fuka Tech says, gotta head out. Glad I caught your stream finally. I've been watching you guys for a bit and enjoyed watching your shop grow. Take care. Thank you. Great to see you. Hope to see you next time. Have a good day. El Draco Plays says, what is bad about my area is that I have to drive 2 hours to a Lego store, so my BrickLink would be limited to parting out clearance stuff, most likely. Well, what about used? I highly recommend. That is fake. Not even labeled. Thought it was Mega Blocks, but it's not. Fidel says, I found 1x2 transclear bricks. Their 6 months average is like 46 cents. I got 240 of them. Well done. Legos owner says, I haven't thought about Facebook Marketplace. Yeah, a lot of the good deals come through Facebook Marketplace. That seems to be where a lot of people get good stuff. JB says, local pickup will beat shipping for bulk 99 times out of 100. Yes, that is also true. Then their Mifflin says, I recently found the guy locally that buys used lots and pulls out the figs, damaged and fake Lego, then sells off the rest. He's a little high on price, but he's willing to deal with, and he doesn't seem to care about the price of some of the figs he finds. He hinted at the fact. Interesting. Where are you, Dunder? If you don't mind sharing. I'm interested in where you are located. Not that I want to poach your buyer. I'm just curious about something. But, I'm very bad at remembering where people are, but are you anywhere near us? Legos owner says, how much longer do you plan on streaming? I'm not sure. Probably. Usually I stop when the count goes down. So when people stop watching is usually when I stop streaming. Dunder Mifflin says, Spokane, Washington, the gateway to nowhere. Interesting. But how long do I plan on streaming? Probably 30 to 45 minutes. Attention seems to usually die out around that time. So, and I've still got a lot of stuff to do, and I'm not going very fast. So. Legos owner says Washington is a great state from what I have heard. A lot of people do seem to move there, but I think a lot of it really depends on where you are. So, and what your political leanings may be. Not that I want to get into that, but. Thunder says, it's good, but getting worse, more like California. Move to Idaho or Montana if you can. California, never mind. We did have a tsunami warning today, which was fun. There was a big earthquake off of some islands, and I got a not an Amber Alert, but like a government warning on my phone this morning. saying that all the beaches were closed because of a potential tsunami. So I wonder if it has arrived yet. I gotta write a note for this because I'm seeing a reoccurring thing with reddish brown being listed as brown. So that should be easy to correct because actual brown is very rare. So, but chat, I will be right back. I need to run to the restroom. So I am going to do, let's see, can I? Yes, there is a button. Still. All right, I think we are back. Let me know if you all can hear me. Sometimes the audio does not pick back up right, but yeah, you guys should be able to hear me. Let's see here. What did I miss? Legos owner says, I'll agree, I live in Minnesota. Like being in the middle of nowhere, but I'm about 2 hours from Mall of America. JB says, good, he remembered to mute. Yes, I don't even take my mic with me. I take it off and leave it here, just to be absolutely certain. Excuse me. Dunder Mifflin says, also, there's like 2 degrees of mute. I have a mute on the switch, and then I also have a mute on the mic. So, let's see. Spokane is 5 hours from one Lego store, 7 hours from the next, and 10 hours from the next. Kind of sucks. Kind of surprised there isn't a Lego store in Spokane, because it's a larger city, if I remember correctly. Brick Rehab. What happened? Did the tsunami hit? I'm not sure. Let's look it up. I'm sure that there are a bunch of idiots at the beach, though. Tsunami advisory remains in effect. Strong rip currents, coastal flooding. That's in, not near here. Okay, let's see, Los Angeles. Tsunami. Well, I mean, kind of the thing about a tsunami is that it also doesn't have to be like a specific, like, one wave, right? That's just if it's really big. The tsunami is more the tidal forces created by the earthquake, right? So, or volcanic eruption in this case. Large displacement of water. It's the wall of force that moves underneath the water rather than like the wave itself. So the wave is only going to be, if it hasn't hit yet, I haven't seen, it's only going to be like 3 feet. But like in general, the water will just be a lot stronger and the rip currents will be a lot stronger, and 3 feet is like nothing. We live in Surf City, so you know the waves here can be a lot bigger. The US Open is held here, so 3 feet really isn't that big, but it would likely hit with the force a lot stronger than that. But like I said, it's not just the wave, it's rip currents and just generally, I guess, the coastal currents being out of whack because they've been hit by this, you know, you have like your normal currents, right, and then just all of a sudden out of a completely different direction you get this huge wall of rapidly moving water, and you can't see that from like up above, right, because it's just a wave of force, you know, kind of like how you know, when you like whip a string back and forth, right, you know, it moves along it. And so if it's under the water, you can't see the troughing effect. So that then, you know, hits with the normal currents and can cause rip currents, which, in case you don't live by the beach, I don't know, like, because we get taught this stuff like at a young age because we're like 2 minutes from the beach. So I don't know. My apologies if I sound like I'm explaining something for a 2-year-old. It's just I don't know what people who live in landlocked areas are taught about ocean safety. But like a rip current is when there's like a sudden, the water is moving out towards the ocean at a very sharp angle, and it pulls things really, really rapidly. So it might look like it's very tiny waves and the water might look totally fine, and then you get in it and it's moving like a river at like full flood, right, you know, after the melt, and so you just get, you know, taken out to sea. And so those can happen when like 2 currents amplify, right? So if you have like waves, right, when 2 waves meet, they can either cancel or they can amplify each other. And what can happen with rip current is you have two waves that are kind of coming at like a weird angle, right? And it can create like a swirl. We're talking like really macro view here, so it's not like you can actually see this stuff. It's just what's happening, and it will cause a rip current to form, taking out all the sand and people in the water. And like they may only be like 20 feet by some huge distance going out, but when you have like a tsunami, the wall of force will create like a ton of those because the currents are just upset. But yeah, that was probably way too detailed of an explanation. But I was saying idiots at the beach less because they're going to get crushed by the wave, and more there's going to probably be a lot of people that may have driven from somewhere to see it that don't know these things and are going to get into the water, and they might not be strong swimmers, and it can be sometimes very hard to outswim a rip current. I've been caught in them a couple times, and they can be really strong. And because unlike a river, there's a lot less of a, if you're out kind of far, you might not notice you're caught in a rip current because there's nothing rapidly moving by, so you don't realize how fast you're going. And you might be, a couple hundred feet from shore really fast. And so there's probably a lot of people at the beach who don't necessarily understand that. And since it's dangerous waters, people might, there's a higher chance of them doing something stupid. Medium azure. That is not medium azure. This is not medium azure either. This is dark. I love this color so much. The dark azure. There's like a couple colors I really like. Some point when I actually, this color looks pretty close to. Oh, that's not good. My wallet is not in my pocket. It looks pretty close to my wallet. But yeah, no, I really like this color. Random side tangent there. Let's see, what have I missed while I was going off on my huge explanation of ocean? Letitia says, I've been watching religiously this past week. Just wanted to make sure I'm covering as much knowledge as possible. Thank you. We appreciate those views and the watch time. Please let us know if you have any questions. If you leave comments on old videos, periodically we will go back and answer them. Every couple days when I really don't want to do something, I will scroll through our email, because we like getting email every time someone leaves a comment, and go back and answer comments. So feel free to ask questions on them. Just no guarantee I'm going to answer them. It's just this goes for everybody. If you have a question, even on an older video, sometimes I will go back and answer them if I am bored. But there's no kind of order or rhythm to it. So, but also if you have any questions, feel free to answer now. Some things Evan might know more, some things I might know more. We kind of split our knowledge, so just do keep that in mind. But I hope you have good luck with a BrickLink store when you open one. Lego Zoner says, want to take a suntan at the beach. Unfortunately, it is actually raining out, or it was earlier. So I guess maybe that will keep some people away. Dunder Mifflin says, Spokane isn't that big, but it's what they call the Greater Spokane area, which encompasses a much larger area. Basically, it's anybody in the surrounding small towns that do business in Spokane. Okay, that makes sense. JB says, I was surprised to find there is no Lego store in eastern Tennessee. Only one in Memphis, I think. Meanwhile, there are 4 within 2 to 3 hours of me. Interesting. Is eastern Tennessee more rural? Because that might have something to do with it. Fidel says, odd question. Would you recommend... Oh, okay, this is not for me. My recommendation is just visit anywhere. So, Kyle Tompkins says, David West was discussing parting out Connect sets in the comment sections on one of his videos. Thoughts on this being a viable business? I don't know anything about Connects. So I could not tell you in the slightest. I did not even really own them as a kid. So I have no idea. Fidel says, a Lego store will be opening soon in my city, but it's been delayed several times because the mall isn't finished yet. Good luck. Fidel, I feel... Oh, you're in Mexico City, right? For some... I think. I forget. I feel like I've asked you like 100 times where in Mexico you are. And like every single time I forget. Or was it like the Mexicali area? I'll never remember. Evan is much better at that kind of stuff. Dunder Mifflin says, the whole rant was basically a local complaining about stupid tourists. I see. Yeah, we get... So, back on the topic of local area here. We have the U.S. Open every year. And every year, tons and tons of tourists, hippies mostly, and surfing fanatics come to the U.S. Open and consume a absolutely insane amounts of alcohol over the course of like 3 days, and go through downtown, and stupid tourists destroy everything. Like police out everywhere. One year there was like a riot. So yeah, I understand your pain. Thankfully, it rarely reaches our neighborhood. GB says it has Knoxville, which is reasonably good sized. Okay. In reference to Eastern Tennessee, I think. Yes. Funbrick Creation says, my local Lego store is about 25 minutes away. Lego's owner says, I can't believe Iowa, no Lego store. Wow. Matthew says, hi guys, what's your view on the change Lego are doing with the bricks and pieces and pick a brick on their website to join these two areas to make a new pick a brick and adjusting prices? I don't have enough data yet. Evan and I's gut, and this is just our gut feeling, is that it probably doesn't affect our market very much. BrickLink has a very solidified community and it's continuing to grow. There will always be a wider variety of pieces on BrickLink than Lego will sell because Lego is not going to run production on a large... They're only going to sell what they're currently producing, most likely. It could change in the future, but they're probably not going to be able to offer the diversity that BrickLink does, and it's also possible that it will be more expensive. This is yet to be seen. But, Fidel, I'm sorry. What was I saying? Yeah, I don't think it's going to have too much of an impact. I feel like the people that buy directly from Lego are going to continue buying directly from Lego, and they would probably not buy from BrickLink anyway. That's kind of my gut feeling. So yeah, that's I don't think. Now, when I first read it, I thought that it was Bricks and Minifigs merging. Like Lego had acquired Bricks and Minifigs, like the franchise, and I almost had a panic attack because I found out about it through like normal news, like Google News, you know, just like headlines, right? And I misread it as Bricks and Minifigs, and it took me until I was like a quarter of the way through the article before I finally stopped reading it as Bricks and Minifigs. And yeah, that gave me a fright, because if Lego merged with Bricks and Minifigs, I would be very frightened. So yeah, but something else to remember is that Lego owns BrickLink. And so they're probably not going to kill it, because they probably wouldn't take an action to kill it, because it doesn't really cost them anything to run BrickLink. It's basically its own business, and they don't really do much with it. So it's kind of just money coming in. And so also keep that in mind. They're probably not going to take an action that would eliminate a stream of essentially free money. So now I'm a little bit more worried about the fact that they're re-releasing some retired sets. We're not in that business, but we may be one day, and I know a lot of other people are, and that's kind of a bit scary. These are bright light orange, not yellow. And there are 2 of them, not 12. Fidel says, no problem. I'm from Culiacan, state capital of Sinaloa, northwestern Mexico. Nowhere near Mexico City nor Mexicali. Okay, still so somewhere kind of along the border, right? Northwestern. So, you know, similar latitude. Similar latitude. One of these days I want to do a like a road trip, a Mexico road trip. I think it'd be very fun. Argumentium says, are they re-releasing old sets or just selling ones they have extra copies of? No, it's stuff they have extra copies of. I haven't seen anything to suggest they're remanufacturing them. But still, a lot of people who are into the Lego investing and set resale side anticipate that once something is retired, it is gone. And so they can mark up the price quite a bit, and that's how they make their money. If Lego begins selling retired sets from the vault at only a slight markup or the original price, it will make that business a lot more risky because you will have no idea what it is Lego's going to release next, right? So but Argumentium on that as well. I don't think it's like just recent stuff either. It is older stuff, I believe, that is, you know, coming out of the vault. So, kind of an odd decision, to be honest. But I suppose it would probably have happened eventually because they are just sitting in a warehouse somewhere. So. Interesting. It doesn't make any sense for Lego to have retired sets in storage. Well, it kind of does because when they finish I mean, a lot of companies do this. When you finish producing a collectible and it goes into retirement, the value immediately increases. And so it would make sense for a company to stock those somewhere as the price will go up. One. Number two, they may want to give them away as collectibles. Number three, they may need to replace something at some point. So, I mean, I can just think, because trading card companies do the same thing as well, where they keep a stash of stuff. It's usually not very big, but usually they do kind of keep a reserve of retired stuff. So, yeah. Also, it is a very good safety valve for a company. If a company suddenly needs to acquire a lot of capital, selling those sets would give them the ability to acquire a lot of capital very, very quickly. So that is kind of something to keep in mind. Argumentium, oh, I already said that. Argumentium says, I don't know if they have a lot of bulk sitting around. No, it's probably not a lot, which is why it kind of confuses me that they are doing it in such a easy to purchase way, right? Rather than an auction. Right, or an auction house kind of thing. But perhaps, I mean, it could be stuff that was overproduced and for some reason wasn't sold off. It could also be lost and refound inventory. I find that a little hard to believe, but it does happen. Companies, you know, usually it's governments that lose track of whole warehouses, but it isn't unheard of for a company to lose inventory and find it again later. Rare. I seriously doubt that that's what it is, but it is a possibility. Fidel says, Arizona is just a fun 12-hour drive away. I'd like to go to Alaska on a road trip and drive the full west coast from Cabo to Alaska. That is a huge, huge trip. Wow. Huge trip. Hagelin says, trading cards would make much more sense because the storage space needed per dollar of value is much less. Yeah, but you also don't necessarily know where they're storing these. Right? Land value fluctuates immensely. They don't need to be stored in the country of sale, especially if the intent is to store them for a long period of time. You know, they could be out in, you know, some incredibly cheap country sitting in a warehouse. So there is that to keep in mind as well. But the truth of the matter is they are selling retired sets currently. So obviously they did have them stored. And they have said before that they store them. Yeah, I don't see anything like immediately explaining what their logistics network in terms of this is, but I'm also just like really quickly scrolling through Lego. The retired sets category isn't really what am I saying? Is not really what Just a Brick in the Bucket does. So just do keep that in mind. I don't know a ton about it. This is plate. Dark red, 1 tooth. Fake. Found another mega block. for trading card. I don't know, a box of Lego can be worth more than a trading card side for size. That probably depends on the card and the Lego set, right? You know, if you have a box of, you know, high-end trading cards, you know, maybe worth more than a box of Lego. So, also, I have no idea what sets they keep. You know, it probably wouldn't make sense for them to keep a stock of every set ever produced, considering the sheer amount of sets that have been produced. But it could be that if there is something that they anticipate eventually wanting to auction, that is what they do. I'm really struggling with the hand coordination today. All right, this is going to be another long count, so pardon my silence. A 10-year-old box of Magic at the top end can be anywhere up to $300, which is just over double its original price. I'm going to assume there's plenty of Lego sets out there that have tripled or more in that 10-year-old bracket. There are some, yeah. Triple, I don't know, it depends on the set. Something else to think about is this: the may not be stored sealed. They may be stored bagged with the box, like, you know, in a different spot, and that would allow it to be compressed much more. Is this the bag no. And that would make storing it much more efficient, because there's a lot of wasted space in most Lego boxes, so. Here's some dark gray. All right. Gotta go now. Awesome stream today. Have a good week. Goodbye, Funbrick Creations. Have a good week. Dunder Mifflin says, for those who care, my local Costco put their leftover Lego sets on Christmas sale. They had a few of the external sets, Eternals set, and a lot of Baby Yoda. The sale put them at a decent average part out. Interesting. You know, these Russian, well, Cyrillic, I don't necessarily know if it's Russian. It's like a bunch of variations. One of the... This is going to destroy my computer. I don't know. They're here every stream. One of these bots. I really want to know what is on that URL. I will type it in a VM later. Actually, do I have VirtualBox on here? No, I don't. Disappointing. If I did, then I would go see what is on that link. But I don't recommend anybody click it because I don't want to be responsible for destroying your computer. Fidel says, a few days ago, got a very random BrickLink message. Someone from Canada was asking for places to buy Lego near my area because he was coming for vacations. Interesting. Huh. I mean, I guess probably assumes that because the peso has a lower valuation than the dollar, sets are going to be cheaper. Lego is going to be cheaper. Interesting. Isn't Canada like the cheapest place in the world for Lego? I am not sure. But possibly. Probably depends on how Lego prices their sets. As to whether they have basically a global price, a regional price, or whether they price based off of, you know, currency, right? It's probably a mix between them. Also may depend on distance from factory, but I doubt that plays as much of a role as I might think. Okay, Fidel says they were actually cheaper before November 2020. Prices went up a lot. Mexico is the cheapest place to buy Lego at some point. Interesting. Maybe it is because the factory is right there. But then again, I mean, I don't know this for absolute certain, but my very basic research has told me that Mexico, despite having a currency valued relatively low compared to the United States, actually doesn't have that horrible of a wealth per capita, which means that people might have a lot of spending money. I don't know that for certain. And that could also be a slanted average because there are some people that are ridiculously wealthy. So I'm not sure. Haglunds also says it has a lot to do with sales tax you pay too. Yes, that is definitely true. Let's see. Mardikas2 says, hey, how do you decide which used pieces will be added to your store and which not? I've purchased some bulk Lego, but sometimes the bricks turn out to be pretty worn out. Basically, anything that is discolored has any kind of like a dent in it. Not necessarily a scratch, but like a dent. Irremovable dirt, Sharpies. If it's lost its luster, like the like real, like the shine, I guess. If it's very, very dull, I will also throw it away. But that said, there's a lot of views that just isn't going to have the new shine. That's not necessarily what I'm talking about. It's just sometimes you'll get a piece that has been so thoroughly scratched that it has like it doesn't even look like it's made out of Lego anymore almost. I toss those. Non-Lego obviously. But really it's kind of just a gut feeling as to whether or not you would feel comfortable selling it. And more importantly, whether or not you would feel comfortable buying it. I tend to be pretty conservative with what pieces I keep, and I throw out a lot. Other people throw out a lot less, so really depends on your personal preference. Fidel says 16% VAT tax nationwide. Taxes are always included inside prices, so there's no need to add them at checkout. That sometimes confuses people. Interesting. I wish we did that here. Well, not 16%, but taxes included. JB says, do you still hold on to your damaged stuff? Yeah, we box it up in large flat rate boxes, and it goes to storage. And when we get enough that it's worth our time, we'll go ahead and list them as damaged / non-Lego for a very, very cheap price on like eBay or something. Or maybe auction it and see if anybody wants some stuff, because there's definitely stuff in there that can be sold. It's just we don't do comments, so if it's damaged at all, basically, we don't sell it. But there are some people who might want to take the time to put comments in. It's just not worth it for us. So at some point we may sell it. But otherwise, yeah, we do hold on to it. Alrighty, let's see. Argumentium says, I bin mine, don't like it coming back as I buy locally. One day I may save up for a ritual blue flame bonfire. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, if we can make any money on something that would otherwise be a loss without, like, being dishonest, I'd rather do that. So, and so long as it's, like, explicitly being sold as damage very clearly in large letters, I don't really think there's anything wrong with it. So I would rather sell it, because the chance of that particular piece making its way back to us is probably pretty low. Because when someone goes through this, or someone goes through the damage and pulls everything out, I imagine what they don't pull out is basically going to be trash. And so I would be rather surprised if they were to pass that on. And I don't think that kids or parents buying stuff for their kids would buy our stuff. So it's probably pretty likely that someone will get some use out of it selling the slightly damaged stuff, and then the rest of it will probably end up in the trash. JB says, I think I'd be interested at the right price. I know I've said that before. I'll message you guys later. Yeah, kind of the issue is shipping. We haven't quite figured out how to do that, because we can't offer free shipping, obviously. But it stacks up, so yeah. But yeah, reach out to the both of us, and we can talk. I think we've got 8 or 9 bins, or 8 or 9 large flat rate boxes filled. Argumentium says, if it comes back, resort it costs money again. It's simply not worth storing for me. That storage space could have literally anything else in it. Yeah, and maybe if there was something else that could go there, we wouldn't, right? But there's nothing else right now that actually is taking up that storage space. Because it's taking up space on a loft at Evan's other business's storage place, where we also just store random personal stuff, like chairs and stuff. So it's really like kind of just sitting there. If it actually like was a contest between that and getting something else profitable going there, then obviously we would take whatever is profitable. But since it's basically free, at least from just a brick in the bucket's perspective, right? I mean, technically Evan's other business is paying for that space, but that's not really my problem. So, nor is it just a brick in the buckets. Interesting. What happened here? Checking order failure from Brick Freedom. I will try a manual sync. I think after I go ahead and drawer these, we'll probably be done for the day. At least streaming, because I've still got 9 bags to do, I think, and so I would like to get started on this. And also I'm hungry, so yeah. Let's see, is it done syncing? Okay. Good, appeared to work that time. Interesting that it failed out. JB says, and this isn't Chow and Chat. Correct, this is not. JB says, what's for dinner? Not sure yet. Gotta go look and see what I got. I live off of microwaved food, so we'll see. But it's higher end microwave food. It's not like a TV dinner. It's like cooked by someone somewhere, like HelloFresh, but it's just like pre-cooked. because I don't have time or effort to cook. So. Alrighty. Fidel says, enjoy your evening. I'll head out. Nice chatting with you. Nice talking to you as well. Always great to have you here. JB says, I'm making a bag of freezer shrimp and pasta myself. Truly the feast of warriors. Freezer shrimp is a wonderful, wonderful thing to have around. Dunder Mifflin says, just about to finish the panels, doors, and windows category. Then on to the next. Gonna get Ralph. Good luck, Dunder. I hope you do it. I've just got a couple more lots here to scan in. Maybe I'll make some mac and cheese. I do have some boxed mac and cheese as well, sitting around somewhere. And that kind of sounds good. But I gotta like boil water for that, so I don't know. Uh-oh. I think I can fit these in half a drawer. Oh, that is so close, Thunder Mifflin. So close. You can do it. Although, of course, you're going to get one of those, like, 800 lot orders at the last minute. And they're going to completely buy you out, so. Although I suppose that wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing. But it is kind of frustrating when you are, like, so close to reaching a lot goal, and then one of those, you know, dirty customers insists on giving you money. It really sucks. Alrighty, and the last one. White. Now we got to set prices and increase by 5%. All right, there we are. 3 have been done. I did one like before I started, so now I've got 9 to do. Hopefully they will go way, way, way faster once I'm not streaming. But that is the hope. So I will see you all in the upcoming vlog. It should be coming out Monday, and also in Discord. If you are not in our Discord, if you're not in our Discord, you can come join down below. There's lots of people there that like to answer your questions. Lots of the people here are over there as well. Also, if you are interested, please subscribe, like, all that stuff if you want more content. And I will catch you all in the next stream. Goodbye, folks.